So for group number 4's semester project part 1, we decided to develop our project on bullying in the classroom. And the members of this group are Morgan Dykes, Rebecca Forster, Whitney Summers, and Tiffany Blake. So first, what is bullying? We define that as intimidating behavior, name-calling, using physical force to persuade a peer to do something, or using actions or words to make yourself feel superior to others. And who experiences bullying? We most often hear bullying happening in school settings with children, but it really can occur everywhere and to anyone. We also thought of bullying happening to those mostly of lower social economic status, different cultural beliefs, or a minority. But like said earlier, it really can happen to anyone. So the situation that we came up with was, and I'm just going to go ahead and state that, was that Mrs. Anderson, who is a second grade teacher in an urban community of California, had one of her students who is an African American child whose name is Robbie. He doesn't seem to have many friends in the class, and he's rather shy and keeps to himself. None of the students in the class have really reached out towards Robbie to help him feel more welcome. One day, when Mrs. Anderson had the students working on a group project for language arts, she overheard two of her students, Chris and Drew, saying to Robbie, "Go back to where you came from. You're not smart and we don't want your help." Mrs. Anderson was then overcome by what she heard happening at this table. She quickly realized action needed to be taken to combat the situation. The students then went to lunch, and Mrs. Anderson had Robbie stay after to speak with him for a moment. She addresses Robbie about the situation and tells him that as a class, they are going to speak about bullying after lunch. She asks him if it is okay that he gets up and talks about things he likes to do and his culture. Mrs. Anderson then called Robbie's mother during her lunch hour and addressed the situation with her. The mother stated how Robbie has been complaining of kids being mean at school and not wanting to come. She also explained how it's been a hard transition for him and the family to move to America after growing up in Africa for so long. Mrs. Anderson explained to the mother that she was formulating a lesson for the students after lunch to address the issues and help all kids be kind and understanding. She explained some of the activities and told the mother she would do everything she could to stop the bullying. So, next we have our proposed lesson plan, and this is just one of the lesson plans that we had decided on, but there will be many more to come throughout the school year to help the students with this anti-bullying strategy and just regular checkups. So the objective of the lesson is that students will be able to apply anti-bullying strategies and kindness to the community through role play, discussion, and teacher observation. The anticipatory set includes reading A Bad Race of Stripes by David Shannon, and then the students will discuss with the teacher what happened in the story and how the girl felt when she was being bullied by the children. Activity 1 that we decided on was that the teacher would discuss what culture is and some examples of what culture might be to a person. She teaches them that everyone has their own culture and everyone likes different things. And although this may be the case, we still need to be kind and not bully because they are different. So one of the activities that Mrs. Anderson decided on was to talk about things that she likes and some of her cultural background, which might be an example of eating Chinese food every Sunday with her family. She then asks each student one by one to stand and say one thing that they like to do and one piece of their cultural background. And the second activity that they would do that day would be to just discuss with the students some things that people might say when they're bullying others. Things like, "Go back to where you came from," "You're not smart," calling names, or hitting. The teacher would then ask the students things that you should say to others, or things that are kind, such as, "You're really good at math," or "Thank you for your help." So that's our proposed lesson plan or scenario. And then we also just wanted to talk a little bit about how the or what the effects would be to the day's planned activities. And we just thought about how it would take a lot of time out of other curriculum-based lessons. And so that would kind of put the teacher behind with the students on things that need to be learned through the curriculum. But it is such a valuable lesson to be learned, teaching about bullying and being kind, although others may be different. So although it does take time, it really would be a good thing and would help the students and the respect of the classroom as well.